What's going on, y'all? Real quick video. I'm gonna do the 10 most underrated rappers to me. Not the most, just 10 rappers I feel are underrated. Real quick video. It's not gonna take too long, but I'm gonna do the 10 rappers I think are underrated. Right now, the first thing I'm gonna do is just list the 10 names that I think are underrated rappers, and then I'll get to why I think they're underrated and some projects you can look for them from them, and all that type of good shit. Know what I mean? So let's start. 10 rappers I think are underrated: Mozzie, Boldy James, Saha the Prince, Dat Boy Vic, Be Real, Crucial Conflict, Willie the Kid, Step Brothers as a group and soloist, Starlito and Don Trip, Young Buck, and Cormega. Okay? Now, why I think they're underrated, let's start. We're going to start with Mozzie. Mozzie, I think Mozzie's mostly underrated because he's from the West Coast, and West Coast already doesn't get a whole lot of love throughout the country unless they have a certain sound. And Mozzie not only doesn't have that certain sound, Mozzie really sounds West Coast, and he's not from the Bay or from LA. He's actually from Sacramento, which doesn't get the proper love it should get anyway. He's from Sacramento, not the Bay, not LA. So he put out one of my top five projects this year, Intrusive Thoughts. Now I mean, it's fire. Now I mean, that Jane hard. Yeah, that Jane hard as a bitch. That's one of my favorite projects this year. Top five project this year. He actually can rap. He talks gangster shit. He can do the women's songs. He can do it all. And he's a CMG. Like he really don't get the love he deserves. His projects is never mentioned as top projects, and he has one of my favorite albums ever, One Up Top Aki. One of my favorite projects ever, and he just don't get talked about enough. So that's why I think he's underrated. All these people I think are underrated is because they're not talked about in the light that they actually rhyme in or that their discography is in, one of the two or both. Well, Mozzie is both. He can rhyme and he has a good discography, and they still don't talk about him enough. Even just for West Coast rappers, they don't even put him in the high West Coast rappers, and I think that's crazy. You know what I mean? All right. Next, we're gonna talk about Boldy James. Boldy James drops at a high level all the time. He's from Detroit. He's with Griselda, and to me, even over West Side Gun, I think Boldy James got the best discography out of all of Griselda. Him and West Side Gun is close, but I got Boldy with the top one. Price of Tea in China, fire. Bo Jackson, fire. To me, those is both 10 string projects, classics. He got a lot of 9 and 8 string projects too, a whole bunch of them. The Versace tape, fire. That might be 10. That's right there. That shit is heat. Now, I mean, he do a lot of good work with Nicholas Craven, a lot of good work with The Alchemist. Um, Good performer. I seen him on tour. Yeah, we gotta get some love to Bodie James. Now, I mean, he fire too. He one of them I think is really underrated. Don't get his love. One of the better rhymers too. Really good rhymer. I don't know why he doesn't get. I don't know why. I think it's because he's monotone and his music is a little formulaic to some folks. Know what I mean, it is formulaic, but I like it. It's a lot. It's coke rap. Know what I mean, but he talk crazy on them James. He be spitting, and he can actually rap. He actually is a good rapper. Not just good that makes him underrated. He's good just in general. He's a high level rapper. Like he can really spit. That's why I think he's underrated. Next would be Saha the Prince. Saha doesn't drop enough music, and I don't know why. But as far as being a good rhymer, a good songwriter, he's amazing. He wrote a bunch of stuff for Kanye back in the My Beautiful Dark Twisted Fantasy days, which is one of my favorite albums of all time. My favorite well, between that and Late Registration of my favorite Ye project. But yeah, he did that, Jane. He did a lot of writing on there. But No Dope on Sundays was heat. That jank was heat. At least 9 strings. I ain't gonna say it's 10, but it's about a 9 string project. That jank was heat. Didn't get talked about enough at the time. He's one of the better freestylers. If you catch any of his freestyles, he's super nice. You had to just catch him. Who else? The next person I'm gonna talk about is Be Real. Be Real, another person out of Cali, super nice. Don't get any real recognition. Oh, also my fault. Let me get back to Sai. Sai is from the A. I do want to shout out where these people are from before I just get to it. Sai, the princess from the A. Um, which makes it even crazy because the A actually has a lot of rappers that come out of there that get love. I don't know why he don't get the love. Maybe because he don't drop enough music. He a real high level rapper, real good rapper too. Next we're gonna get to Be Real. Be Real is one of the better LA rap, not LA, better Cali rappers in general. Um, Not just LA, he's just one of the better Cali rappers, one of the best, better West Coast rappers, and nobody really give Be Real no love. He's not mentioned in nothing. He did make Complex's top 10 LA rappers, I think, if I'm not mistaken, which was a shock to me because people don't talk about Be Real. Be Real got an amazing, amazing discography that is never, ever, ever discussed. Um, a lot of your favorite rappers, or at least some of mine, I fuck with Jeezy real stuff. He mentioned Be Real as one of his favorite rappers ever before. Um, he had the Prohibition series, which was fire. Part one, part two, part three. He had the Prescription, which was fire. Smoke and Mirrors was fire. Be Real been dropping heat forever, and don't get the love he deserves. Another one that just maybe it's because he's from LA. I don't know, but I think sometimes if you're not from Atlanta, well, LA rappers get some love. Let me say, if you're not from LA, Chicago, Atlanta, or New York, it's gonna be harder for you to get love anyway, because those are the four main epicenters. Depending on if you're in the South, the East Coast, the West, or the Midwest, those are the epicenters. Now you can get a little bit of love if you're from like New Orleans or Memphis or the Bay a little bit, but the West Coast gets a little bit less love than the other places anyway. And I don't know why. I really don't know why. But yeah, he don't get enough love. Next, we're gonna talk about a group that really don't get enough love. Crucial Conflict. They've been out since about 94, 95. One of the best. They was one of the best rap groups in the 90s. They disbanded in I think 97 ish, 96, 90, it might have been 98. I think they disbanded in 98. I gotta start fact checking some of this. But they was one of the top rap groups, and then they disbanded. But they had a fire, 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 fire project. All of them was nice. Um, the final tick was amazing. To me, it's a 10 string project. Good Side, Bad Side was amazing. Then they came back with Planet Crucon way later. They came back. They was fucking with Bone Thugs in 2007, 2008. They came back and tried to reorganize, but they dropped two fire back-to-back projects, and nobody ever talks about Crucial Conflict no more. Not in the best 10 groups, not in the best groups ever. Maybe because it was so short, but um, they had a lot of good music. They dropped, like I said, two fire projects, and they from the Shy, which should also get more love because they're from the Shy. Chi-Town don't show a lot of its spitters love for some reason. They don't show Common enough love. They don't show Twista enough love. They don't show Crucial Conflict enough love. But I like all the music. I like the new shot rappers too. I like Herbo. I like Keith. I like Dirt. Know what I mean? I like Polo G. But you gotta respect the roots too. Know what I mean? You gotta respect the roots. You gotta respect the new era. You gotta respect it all. Know what I mean? Um, all right. Next we gonna get into who we gonna get into next? We're gonna get into Dat Boy Vic. Dat Boy Vic is from Columbia, South Carolina, if I'm not mistaken. I know he's from South Carolina. I think Columbia. He has a decent X following. He talks about a lot of stuff on X. Maybe that's why his music is overlooked because he has so much else that he offers. He talks about a whole lot of shit on X. He talks about a whole lot of shit on YouTube too. He got a YouTube page up here. I think it's Master Student. I am subscribed. I think it's Master Student. It might be that boy Vic, but yeah, he's really good rapper. He's from the South. He's from South Carolina, so of course they ain't gonna show him no love. Listen to the Almighty Pen, and you'll be like, this is one of the best rhymers I ever heard from the South. Just in general, he's one of the best rhymers. He show a lot of rhymers love too. So he showed love. He his music isn't talked about enough because I don't think he puts enough emphasis on his music itself. But he's a really good rhymer. Um, and I don't know why he don't. He's overlooked so much. I really do think it's because he puts a lot of emphasis on other aspects of what he's doing. He does a lot of other good shit. So if he put more emphasis on his music, I think he would blow up more because he's nice like that. No, I mean he really nice. Yeah, listen to the Almighty Pen, and you'll be like, yeah, this nigga is nice. What else you want to listen to from him? That's my favorite one. I think that's a 10 string project. The Sad Poet too. The Sad Poet is really good rhyming. That's a probably 9 or 10 string project too. He nice. He real nice. Footprints in the Shadows is fire. He rhyming crazy on there. Yeah, check out that boy Vic, man. Check him out. Check him out. Definitely check him out. Next, we're gonna get to Willie the Kid. He's from Michigan. Super nice. One of the best rhymers you'll hear again. All these people I'm talking about, most of them is just nice as hell and don't get no love, even though they nice as a motherfucker. Listen to listen to some Willie the Kid. He from Michigan, just doing it big. He one of the better rhymers of the last decade. He don't miss. He put out fire projects, has a fire discography, and nobody really say nothing about him. I think because he doesn't put himself out there enough. He put out a album this year, Flying the Soup, and that shit was fire. Midnight is fire. That would drop this year. He puts out albums constantly. Capital Gains was really good. Came out a couple years ago. Shit was fire. 2020 and 2019 he kept dropping City Lights, Pearls, Capital Gains, Deutschmarks, Keep Watching Me Fly. Just kept dropping heat, rhyming at a high level on all them James, and no one really talked about it. Yeah, that's the next person I was gonna say, Willie the Kid. Then the Step Brothers put out the second best project this year to me. Starlito and Don Trip put out individually have been putting out fire for over Starlito for 2 decades, Don Trip for about 15, 16 years, 17 years. They've been putting out heat. And nobody talk about them in the best Southern rhymers, the best trap rappers, neither one, and they do both of them good. Starlito and Don Trip, nice, but they two of my favorite rappers too. Let me say that. Out of all these people I'm talking about, they both the Step Brothers as a duo is in my top 10 all time favorite rappers, not greatest favorites. So I'm always gonna show them extra some love. They real nice from Nashville and Memphis, and maybe that's why they don't get enough love. And because again, they do put themselves out there a little bit, but they when they tour, they only hit certain spots. They never come to Virginia. They don't come to DC, cause I go see them all the time. I fuck with them boys. They've been nice forever. Lito been dropping heat since Cash Money days. Don Trip been nice forever. Don Trip dropped another project recently this year. Besides that, Step Brothers for Life, he dropped another project this year that was fire. Um, they got a few 10 string projects. I mean, I'm gonna give them their own show one day. So we'll go over all that at another time. But yeah, Young Buck is another one that I think is underrated. Buck is underrated because he came out hard with G Unit and 50 and them. He also dropped a tape this year that was fire. Um, Project's one of my favorite songs that came out this year on some trap shit. One of my favorite trap songs that came out this year. And this the first song on his tape that dropped this year. He I think he's underrated because of his personal life and personal shit he has going on. But also, when he stopped fucking with 50, he was dropping tapes with like Starlito. He was dropping a lot of music with like Gotti and Jeezy and a whole bunch of trap music. And he was one of the better trap rappers at that time. And nobody cared. He was dropping heat. Live Loyal, Die Rich, one of the best trap projects you'll get. Back on My Buck shit too, one of the best trap projects you'll get, but nobody cared. He out of Nashville too. Young Buck, especially if you like that trap shit, his old trap shit was crazy. And nobody talked about it. He was rhyming good too. I don't know why no one fucked with Buck like that, but I always fuck with Buck. Um, and then of course, straight out of Cashville was heat. His time with G Unit was heat. So yeah. And then last but definitely not least, we're gonna talk about Cormega. Now, Cormega to me might have the most he might be the most underrated out of all these people because he's not even known. Well, some of these people aren't known, but for how good he was and for the type of shit he dropped, he's not known nearly enough. He was heat. Um, the Testament. We can start with the Testament. We can start with, let me see. Because I'm going to get deep into Cormega, so give me a second. I'm going to get real deep into Cormega. Because he just didn't stop. He kept dropping. Um, and I think all his shit was just too street. He couldn't blow up because all of his shit was real street. He was on Nas, one of the King's Diseases recently too. He's always fucked with Nas. He's always fucked with Mobb Deep. He's one of the most underrated rappers. He out of New York, and I don't know why he's underrated. Because New York niggas usually, especially when they can spit, get love. He didn't get no love for him to be that nice. And he's super duper underrated. And he had a bunch of like listen to the realness. He had a song out there called "Fallen Soldiers," just fire out. He had a bunch of projects that was just elite, and nobody really cared. I think it's because during his time it was such many high level spitters like Nas and Az. My favorite tape from him though was the meaning, and the meaning just to me is a ten string project. Everything on there is hard. Um, that's the most underrated LP to me ever by anybody. Just heat from top to bottom on that jank. It might be the most underrated. Yeah, might be one of the most might be the most underrated LP from any rapper ever. Just nothing but heat on that jank. Um, Nothing but street poetry on there. Therapy is one of my favorite songs by anybody ever. Just he was just dropping nothing but heat on there. Mm. That's it for my underrated rappers. I'm gonna get into one more thing though before I get up out here. What I'm gonna get in besides that is rappers, not rappers, fans of rap and R&B that are from before like my age and older. Y'all gotta stop being stuck in the '90s. Y'all are the worst type of hip hop fans. All this old school rap I talk about, I still love my new school rap. Kodak Black dropped tonight. I fuck with YTB Fact. I fuck with Herbo. He dropped I think November 7th. I fuck with Young Boy. He hard. His master project was hard. He got a couple projects I think is super hard. Colors Until Death Call My Name. I fuck with Lil Reezy, new young spitter out of New Orleans, hard. Know what I mean? I fuck with Polo G. It's y'all are saying that rap is dying because it ain't no good rappers now. Y'all just don't like that shit. Know what I mean? Y'all gotta listen to this more rap that won't just out in the '90s, and that shit is crazy. They don't even have to sound like '90s rappers. Y'all are like shit like Benny the Butcher, who I fuck with too, but won't like shit like Kodak or Herbo, because y'all want rap to sound one way, and it don't sound one way. It evolves like everything else. The stuck in the '90s fans is worse than the young fans. They're worse than any fans to me. It's not the '90s no more. Y'all gotta move on, man. And I love my '90s rap. Pac, my favorite rapper of all time. Hove, number two. Know what I mean? But then I like other shit. Know what I mean? You gotta get into all that shit. You can't. To me, you can't be a hip hop head if you can't talk about it all. So y'all never be one of them stuck in the '90s niggas, cause I like music from the '80s. I like KRS. I like Rakim. I like Big Daddy Kane. I like Cool G Rap. I like De La Soul. I like A Tribe Called Quest. That's '90s too, but you know what I mean? I like NWA. I like Ice Cube. And then in the '90s, I like Hove. I like Nas. I like Az. I like Pac. I like Big. Then in the 2000s, I fuck with Jeezy, Tip, Wayne, Ye, Common, whatever. Common from the '90s and 2000s. But you know what I mean? You got to be able to hit all the eras to really be talk like you a hip hop fan. Then in the tens, I fuck with Dot. I fuck with Cole. I fuck with all. This is what I'm saying. I fuck with all that shit. I fuck with Future. Yeah, I was fucking with Future. I was fucking with Cash Out. Know what I mean? I fuck with all that goddamn all the heat I was fucking with. Know what I mean? If you was dropping heat, I don't care. I was fucking with you. Then even now, I fuck with Griselda. I fuck with Bordy. I fuck with Willie the Kid. I fuck with Rock Marcy. I fucked with him in the tens too. I fuck with the new niggas. Like I said, the Kodak, Herbo, any of them. If you fire, you fire. Y'all gotta stop being stuck in the '90s. And with that, this Don G. I'm checking out.